Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sprint 285 review. This was a 2-week sprint that had the Easter break in the middle, so a little light, but let's get started. I'll start with the overview, Gilbert on the UI, Adam on providers, and Joe on the platform. This sprint, we had 88 PRs merged, with fairly even spread between enhancements and bugs. And over to Gilbert on the UI.
Thanks, Jason. So for the UI, some bug fixes we had. I fixed a bug with the request page for tag values. Joe fixed the custom buttons and widgets with role names or group descriptions that can change. And I fixed the broken tag fields as a follow-up to a PR Osavad had done earlier. For enhancements, I converted the user form to React. I enabled the use of carbon icons for the toolbars. Jason introduced Stimulus to replace jQuery RJS, and Adam reintegrated the SCVM provider. Next slide. For other peers, Adam used service template.class from prov type. I had a PR to remove the detect spaces tech debt. I also had a remove unused Angular code PR. Adam removed the New Age network provider. Some more tech debt pairs I had were the EMS key pair, button group, and font icon picker, and Angular sanitize. Um, Osavon, and Elsa updated yarn.lock and also had various dependency updates. And Elsa implemented Webpack plugin based node version check using Semvar. Next slide. For dependency updates for UI service, I removed the crossbound resolution and I updated Lodash to the latest version. Next slide. So going back to our bug fixes for the UI, the request page tag value that I fixed for the before and after. In the before, you could see for the first tag control field, this is a multi-select field, but it only displays the first value that was selected. In the after, it now correctly displays all selected values. Next slide. For the fixed broken tag fields, I fixed an error with the tags that was causing basically the page to blow up and not load the tags correctly. In the after, now the page loads correctly and you can properly select the tags. Next slide. For the convert user form to React, this is just one of various screenshots of this page. But as an example, this is the add user form. You can see the before in Haml to the now after in Carbon React. Next slide. For enabling use of carbon icons for the toolbar, this is a PR I did to basically allow us to use carbon icons in the toolbar. Uh, this is an example screenshot, so you can see on the before, we have the old icons on the left, and then on the right with the after, it's the same icons, but now using carbon icons instead for the same button. Next slide. And Elsa's implement Webpack plugin-based node version check using Semvar. This is an example of the error that gets thrown if you're on the wrong node version while trying to run the server. That's it for the UI. Next is Adam.
Thanks, Gilbert. For providers this sprint, we added some additional database flavors for the Amazon provider. Power HMC, we moved some of the tests for refresh into loop. Essentially, we run refresh tests twice to make sure that between the two, nothing changes. And the tests in this one happen to be outside of that loop, so it was defeating the purpose. So we got that fixed. For Lenovo Xclarity, we updated to the newer version of the Xclarity gem and set the logger to the Lenovo log. Previously, this was being handled by specifically looking for global variables in the gem, and now the gem exposes a logger interface so that we can set it properly. And for VMware, we added VCF 9.0 support. This was released a bunch of months ago, but we I had to update the WSDL generator for the RBVMO MyGem to be able to support this, and we got that done this sprint. Next slide. A couple provider additions and deletions. So Nuage Networks, after they've been acquired by Nokia, they deprecated and are no longer releasing the Nuage VSP provider. So we removed that from ManageIQ. And back from the dead, SEVMM has been added back to the ManageIQ providers list. So this was initially dropped for a couple of reasons. One, Microsoft was deprecating it and going to replace it with Azure Stack. And specifically, we were unable to move to CentOS 9 because we couldn't compile one of the gems. The C library was used only for smart state, so we dropped smart state analysis for SEVMM and added the provider back since there's still some community interest in it. And Microsoft has since started updating SEVMM again, and there are newer versions of it. So the community helped test this. The existing code that we had works on the latest versions. And so this should be available in the next release of ManageIQ. That's it for providers. Over to Joe.
Thanks, Adam. For platform enhancements and improvements this sprint, Keenan migrated to MySQL Trilogy drivers and virtual attributes. He also introduced the rake tasks rake db create and db drop into virtual attributes. I pushed down the logic for retrieving the visibility values to the widget model in core. And Brandon added a unique label for database-only backups in ManageIQ pods. Next slide. For bugs and maintenance this sprint, Keenan fixed a sporadic test failure with sub-associations in virtual attributes. I fixed an issue with a blank visibility value in core. I converted the role names and group descriptions to resolve the issue that Gilbert was talking about for the UI. Jason fixed the notifications API for users with belongs to RBAC filters and ManageIQ API. Brandon fixed the chown warning in the PostScript in the ManageIQ RPM build. He also added missing ManageIQ appliance RPM dependencies in RPM build. Jason updated the Ansible VENV requirements in RPM build. He also fixed quoting in the Scramshaw migration in schema. Jason fixed the literal dot in the email regex in more core extensions. And he also bumped rack for numerous CVEs in core and many other repositories. Next slide, and back to Jason.
And that's all for our Sprint 284 review. The next Sprint review is on April 29th at the usual place and time. And I'd like to thank all the contributors to ManageIQ, our community for bringing back the SCVMM provider and working on a number of other providers. And thanks to all the presenters today. Thanks, everyone.